PWNcast.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a long-awaited PWNcast that nobody wants to hear. I am joined tonight by not Ashley. Derek has come back from the dead, right? You're a zombie now, right? Is that how it works? So yeah, Derek's back.
You opened that one up.
Derek's back, everybody. And Derek, you have video turned on with our Skype conversation. What exactly are you doing right now?
I wish you all could see. I'm cleaning things.
What are you cleaning, Derek?
Firearms. Because I am a responsible firearm owner, and you're supposed to clean your firearms whenever you use them. And we use them today, so I'm cleaning them.
Oh, we use them, implying that I have one.
Well, no. Danny used one of mine.
No, we shot some guns
wink.
today, and it was fun.
Oh, I'm sorry for that, everyone.
Yeah. So Derek's being a complete goofball and wants to multitask while doing a podcast, and we actually have a whole slew of topics to talk about because so much has happened since the last time we did a podcast. So
yes, this is true.
I mean, people have left companies, games have come out that we both hate and enjoy. You know,
we hate a game? What game do we hate?
I don't know. I guess I'll find something.
I don't think I hate any games.
So I guess first off, to start out to start everything off, Derek, what have you been playing lately?
StarCraft. I've been playing a lot of StarCraft lately. Goat Simulator. I started Papa and Yoi, but I just lost interest in that real quick. I felt really bad, but I was like, this is boring. This is just really boring.
Yeah.
It was a puzzle game, and I was just like, I don't, like, you had to chase this girl, and she was like, haha, chase me, but then she'd, like, right before you got her, she'd, like, teleport away, and I was like, this is kind of bullcrap. Why don't you, if you want to hang out with me, you just hang out with me, you don't have to teleport away from me.
So, Goat Simulator, we did a stream on that, and,
Best game ever.
I have to agree. It's definitely a contender for Game of the Year 2014 for me, and I'm being dead serious when I say that. This game is so much fun, and that's actually a topic that we have to talk about, is patch 1.1 of Goat Simulator is bringing local split-screen multiplayer, and a whole slew of other things.
I don't really care. Like, a lot of people were really upset. They're like, oh, I really want to play multiplayer with this, but I don't really care because from what the developers said on their website, it was like, look, the physics engine that we're using is so intense that it's pretty much impossible for you to play this game multiplayer. So I never was really upset that there was no multiplayer, because it was like, look, the game is buggy as shit, and it's broken, and that's kind of the charm. Like, this is the exact opposite of a DICE game, whereas in, like, you hate it because it's broken. This game, you love it because it's broken. So maybe DICE should, like, hire the developers of this game so they can break DICE. They can like, unbreak Battlefield 4 by breaking it and making it better.
I see where you're coming from with that. I think that if the guys behind Goat Simulator were to make a Battlefield game, it would probably be the most hilarious thing I've ever played. But,
can you imagine, like you would jump into an armored goat with a cannon on top of it? And, like, one of the goats would be really overpowered, because why not? And then one of the goats would be slow, and no one would like to, drive it like the attack helicopter. And, yeah, I hate Battlefield 4.
So,
there's just a lot of animosity built there. I'm sorry, guys.
So let's see. With patch 1.1, as I said, we get local multiplayer, new achievements, goat parkour, and balancing on your front legs.
That sounded like my favorite part was the goat parkour. whatever.
And I love this next bullet point. You will be able to ride a bike, hopefully if we can get it to work.
That right there, I think, sums up the whole entire game. If we can get it to work.
Let's see, more optimization and new playable goats, including a tornado goat, shopping goat, and repulsive goat. As if Satan goat was not enough for you.
I think, well, as long as they don't make like a pink goat, I think I'll be okay with that. Then again, I don't know, a pink super, like the Diablo 3 rainbow level, like over the top hearts and rainbows would actually be pretty funny. Actually, come to think about it.
So, but yeah, Goat Simulator, it's a great game. If you have not picked it up, I highly recommend buying it. It is definitely worth the money.
Highly recommended.
I mean,
it's just fun to play.
And that's essentially what games are supposed to be.
Absurd and exactly, like it's not it's just ridiculous and broken, and it's okay that it's broken, unlike other games.
So going back to games that we've been playing lately, because you threw out Goat Simulator, so I just had to go right into to the patch. But things that I've been playing since the last time we did a podcast, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes.
Worst game ever. Can we just... I'm glad that we touched on this, because I really need to talk about this, how bad this game is. There is a rape scene in this game. How dare these cis males have a rape scene in a video game? That it's not tasteful, it's not... it doesn't have any character development, and I hope you guys understand I'm being so sarcastic right now.
Yeah, you know what? I'm so glad that you definitely set that up, because... Well, wait a minute.
The outcry of that scene, because people are not even mad at the scene, they're mad at the game itself. They're like, oh, how dare, this is over the line, this is over the top, blah, blah, and it's just like, have you, did you listen to, the extended stuff? Did you actually, bother to understand why he put it in there? And it's not just there for shock value, which is what we established, when we talked about this before, it came out, because I remember saying, I hope it's not there just for shock value, and I hope it's there tastefully and in a good way. And it is in a good way, and it is very tasteful, and it adds a shit ton of character development, and it makes you go, oh my... It is shock value, but it's done right, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, the thing about it is the backlash that I've seen from this. I believe I saw an article that said, Hideo Kojima gives you the rape scene in Ground Zeroes as a reward. And that's not how it works at all. Excuse me. It's something...
Well, I understand, because, technically, if you want to talk about, how the game works, you have to go... it is you have to go and find it. It's not something that's given to you. So I understand that, but at the same time, it's not really it's not like a playable skin that you would get for an achievement in another game, or a new gun, a better gun. It adds to the story, so I'm not really sure if it's that is. I understand it's technically a reward, but it's not how you would. It's not. You understand? If you could explain that.
Yeah,
better than
it's
me.
it's basically it serves to the plot, okay. And the thing about this is, and what people don't realize, they think, oh god, it's in a video game, this is sexist. This shit happens all the time. And these people are acting like they live in this fantasy world where they can completely eliminate it and just completely put it out of their lives when this stuff happens. And the thing about Kojima and what he's doing with Ground Zeroes, it's war fucking sucks. It really does.
Yeah.
And he conveys that effectively with this cassette tape in Ground Zeroes.
Which, by the way, that scene is awful. It is. It makes you hate because you don't like the main villain of that you don't really like what's his name anyways.
Skullface.
What's his name? You don't really like Skullface anyways, because he's I think it's the third tape that happens on. What tape does that happen on?
It's the rape tape is cassette 4, I believe.
So you've already had 4 tapes of, or at least I think at least 1 or 2 tapes, because the first 2 are just him on the island, of you not liking Skullface and Skullface like torturing you, and then that happens and you're like,
I
like,
think it's ballsy. I think that people should have. I mean, I'm not saying that every single game should have a rape scene in it, but I really wish that more writers of games would be able to take their story to a level like that, that's like a previously unbroken ground with games, where it's like, this real life thing that happens every single day is in this game to effectively tell a story.
And also, it's in a way like it's more so not even like a normal rape scene. Like, he just forces one of the characters to have sex with another one just to break them psychologically. So it's more of just like a psychological, like, this is horrible. And like, especially when one of the characters likes the other one and they don't want to do this, and the character that they're raping is like already kind of mental, and it's just a horrible, like, I would disagree with you. This kind of stuff doesn't happen every day, but I'm sure it's happened before. Like, I'm sure things like this have happened before, but like, it's not like your normal, like, you know, there's a girl and there's a recording of him raping her. No, this is much more psychological and much more vile, I would say, and just
yeah.
I don't know. Rape's pretty bad. I'm not going to say this is worse than normal rape. I'm not saying that at all, but it's very it's pretty rough. I didn't like listening to it.
It was very unsettling.
Because I knew it was, because once it started, I was like, oh, this is it, and I was like, I don't like this at all.
Yeah, it's a very unsettling scene to have to sit and listen to.
But I would say enough about that.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, this game is great. I've been enjoying Ground Zeroes. In fact, I just started recording it tonight to put up on the internet. I wanted to wait for a little while so that way the whole, spoilers crowd could die down, so that way it's not complete sacrilege that you're spoiling the game when you upload it. So I've been having fun with it, and anybody who says it's 2 hours long, fuck off. Seriously, I have put 22 hours into this game, and I love it, and I will continue to keep on playing it. It is amazing. High replay value, definitely worth $30. And don't you dare even say that it's a demo. Seriously, it's not a demo. It's awesome, that's what it is.
I thoroughly enjoyed playing it, even though I was awful at it. But I'm not very good at stealth shooters.
I was really bad at it when I first started, too. I had no idea what I was doing because it was so different from past MGS games. But going back to games that I've been playing lately, Strike Suit Zero Director's Cut on PS4. And holy crap, is that game amazing. Going back to Hideo Kojima, get these guys to make Zone of the Enders 3. That is all I thought of while playing this game. It is amazing, and play it. Play it. You played it, right, Derek?
Yeah, I played it before you did. It's a fun game. Strike Suit's very, very fun. It's a mech. No, it's a mobile. I don't know. What would you call it?
Space combat.
With the suit.
Yeah.
With emphasis on suit.
It's high-speed robot action, just like Zone of the Enders. And it's really hard, like Zone of the Enders, on harder difficulties. So I really enjoyed it. It's a nice game. I think I picked it up for around $15 on PSN. It might be back up to 20 though. Really been enjoying that, and I've almost 100% it, pretty close. So, and then I finally finished recording all of Mystical Ninja on the N64, and I even did a live stream this past week with Star Fox 64. But you weren't there for that to antagonize me, so.
No, I was not. I'm glad I missed it because you're a jabroni.
Okay, sure, whatever. So, moving past games that we've played, since we've already covered Goat Simulator, the Xbox One's Japanese release date. It's not coming out for quite some time over in Japan.
Why? Honestly, who in Japan was excited about that anyways? I don't know. I feel like that's not a big... is that big news? Because do people in Japan want the Xbox One?
People want to play some Titanfall, okay? And the Japanese can't play Titanfall.
They have PCs for that.
Not everybody has a PC, Derek. Everybody knows PC gaming in Japan is nowhere near as big as console gaming. Yeah,
really?
Consoles outsell PC games constantly in Japan. It's insane. Like, over here, you could argue that it's kind of half and half. It's neck and neck. Not in Japan. They love their consoles, man. That's why the only place that the Wii U and stuff like that has been selling for Nintendo is over in Japan. Because they love consoles, and they love video games. And they have Vita TV, and that pisses me off. But it's not coming out until September, and the reason why I brought this article up is because this is a problem with the Xbox One, and why I think it's always going to be trailing in the I mean, obviously it's not going to be trailing as bad as the Wii U over here, because the Wii U it freaking sucks over here in the States. Nobody is buying that thing. But the Xbox One will always be trailing the PlayStation 4 because of this problem, and that's the fact that not every single country is going to want to be working with Xbox One's TV capability, and as I've said before on past podcasts, Microsoft should have thought that through.
Well, I think, wasn't it established that it was more of a North American thing anyways? Like, they weren't really pushing for worldwide TV support for that yet.
But
I don't think they expected, people from, China and India and, Botswana to be wanting to buy an Xbox for TV. Because a lot of those countries don't have,
don't have things. They don't have nice things.
No, they don't have, reliable cable yet, I would say.
Yeah, okay. I get you.
Because, it can't... How long was it till it came out in Europe? How big was the delay there?
I wonder. Let me actually look that up here. EU release. I think it may have been 2 weeks.
Yeah, see, I don't have a problem with that. I think that... I don't think they were expecting to have a big release in Japan, and I don't think they were expecting their numbers to be high in Japan. I don't think they really cared, to be honest. So that to me is, I don't want to say like non-news, but it doesn't surprise me. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, me and you can disagree on that, but
hey, I'm looking for any opportunity to bash the X-Bone.
Is true.
Jesus, I honestly don't think that thing is going to last 5 years down the line.
Well, they've sunk a lot of money in it. I doubt they're going to let like an investment like that turn up without something. I mean, they've fixed a lot of the problems we had in the first place with it, so I'm not really worried about it.
Well, they're banking on DirectX 12 to solve a lot of their problems, but it's not going to do that much. So, I don't know. It's just further proof that it's like, oh, well, the PS4 is still outselling globally, and it's like Microsoft has to pad their numbers every quarter to make it look good, and that's not good business.
Well, let them pad their numbers.
It's not good business, man.
I don't care.
But moving on, since that was pretty much throwaway news anyway, Dragon Age Inquisition, are you stoked?
I didn't look at that article, and I'm not going to look at that article.
Well,
I have a very strict policy when it comes to games that I'm really excited about, that I don't want to see anything about said game because I don't want to spoil anything, or I don't know. I want to, when I have this thing where like games that I really love, when the first time I play it, I want it to all be really new to me. So that you can talk about that. I'll kind of listen, but for the most part, I know some of the stuff you're talking about. I've seen some of the characters that you can buddy up with, and that's cool and all, but I've read some of the stuff they talked about, but for the most part, I am going to stay out of that, and it'll all be new to me when it comes out.
Well, the latest trailers come out, box art's come out. As I said around the time that we did our E3 episode, this game looks interesting to me, and I didn't even really like Dragon Age Origins, so it's kind of prompting me to want to go back and play through them again, because
I don't understand why you don't like that game, because it's pretty much KOTOR with
I think it's boring. That's about it. I thought that it was 3 hours in, I was like, I'm bored out of my mind. I don't know. And maybe it's because KOTOR has the Star Wars license.
Because that's a really...
It wasn't fun for me.
because I really enjoyed Dragon Age a lot. I thought it was like Lord of the Rings, but not. And I think like a game like that, I don't think would translate well with Lord of the Rings because there's just so much lore, and this kind of had that down. Where Dragon Age, the more games there are, the more lore it develops. But that first game was real simple in the lore department. Where it wasn't simple at all, to be honest. But it was not. It was huge. Like there was the Darkspawn, and there was this archdemon, and they were gonna kill the entire world, and you had to stop them. And there was all this backstory of like your civilization and stuff, but it wasn't really focused on that. It was more focused on the Darkspawn and how they, there was theories on how they arrived and how holy shit they're back and we have to get the Grey Wardens to stop them, and like then you become a Grey Warden, and it's awesome. Dragon Age 1 was awesome. Dragon Age 2 was fun, but it lacked that like awesome. I don't know, because lately I've been talking about how I love small games, like games that aren't huge in perspective, and like they're not like like big story, and you travel all over the galaxy and you stop the Reapers, or like in Dragon Age example, you travel all over Ferelden, and then you stop the Darkspawn. Dragon Age 2 was very small. It was one city, and you pretty much did a bunch of shit in that one city, which usually I'm totally for that. Like, what game did we play recently that I really liked that was really small? We really liked it. It was a sequel, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Oh, God. I'm really mad at myself right now because there's a game I was thinking of that I really liked. It was small.
Was it Octodad Dadliest Catch?
No, it was not Octodad. Just continue on talking about Dragon Age, and I'll think about.
I mean, it looks cool, but I have no idea what's going on.
What? I mean, have they? You can spoil some of the stuff. What's going on? What they say? Like, is it before or after Origins?
I think it is after Origins, because all of this basically it looks like shit is hitting the fan inside the universe, and all of these things are coming. I don't know what I don't know what they're called. I can't remember, but I guess they come from another dimension or something like that, or from another realm, and they're
the Darkspawn
might be.
The Fade?
Fade, yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, yeah. That's it then.
They're starting to invade.
Because the Fade is like the magical realm.
Yeah, they're starting to invade, I guess, the real world. And you have to form a large group of people, and you are the Inquisition. So, I mean, cool. It looks cool.
Okay, I don't want to know anymore.
It looks cool, so I recommend that you watch the trailer, but you're probably not going to.
No, I don't. I try to stay like movies, for example. I stay away from movie trailers. Well, I mean, I have been watching a lot of Godzilla trailers. I'm excited about Godzilla.
Trying to piss me off with the Godzilla trailer.
Look, the Godzilla trailer looks awesome. I think you're closing your mind on that Godzilla movie. It looks pretty good.
Unless it's got other kaiju monsters in it, I'm not interested.
Because it looks like, honestly, look, I get it. It's not a kaiju movie, but it looks like the perfect American monster movie. Like a Cloverfield type, like, super serious. This monster's wrecking shit. Oh, God, Bryan Cranston's a great actor.
He should have been
bang,
Lex
bang,
Luthor instead of Jesse, what's-his-face from Social... Yeah, from the Social Network.
Whatever. I'm going to check my Steam real quick, because I really am upset that I don't know what this game is called.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a nice little transition to movies. I saw Captain America the Winter Soldier, and if you ever wanted to know what Metal Gear Solid 2 would look like on the big screen, go watch Captain America the Winter Soldier, because it's basically the Terminator and Metal Gear Solid 2 put together, and it's amazing. Probably the best Marvel movie they've ever put out, ever. Because it kind of feels like a political thriller, like something maybe in the vein of like a Tom Clancy thing, but at the same time it's in the Marvel universe. It's really weird, but at the same time it works, and it was executed very well. I really enjoyed that movie. If you have not seen it, I definitely recommend going to go see it. And then I think next weekend, as we're recording this, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 drops, and I'm excited for that one. So definitely going to be checking that one out.
I'm excited for Star Wars
lying.
Episode 7. I am. By the way, everyone, I've officially stopped being a Star Wars fan.
Really? Well, why don't you go into more detail on that?
I think I told you this. I think I'm just done. I can't take it anymore. Like when something you love just gets like run over multiple times. Maybe it was Alan Wake. I'm sorry.
Alan Wake is in Star Wars Episode 7? Well, this movie's gonna get weird.
Yeah, but he is. He is. No, I can't fucking remember what game it was. And the thing that's gonna piss me off, guys, is like an hour after this podcast, can be like, oh, that was it. And I'm not gonna be able to tell you why. Whatever. I just, there comes a point in your life where you just gotta stand up for what you believe in, and I love The Empire Strikes Back, and I like Star Wars New Hope a lot, and I like Return of the Jedi a lot, but I just, how many times can you destroy something for me before I'm like, alright guys, I'm done, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like he's making it. There's gonna be like, here's the thing. I explained this to Danny. I don't like the Clone Wars television show. I think it's campy and stupid, and the animations, whatever. I mean, it's okay, but like the voice acting's not very good, and the plots are like whatever. This is obviously aimed for young teens and kids. But see, it never really bothered me because it was always based on the Clone Wars and the prequels, which are shit anyways. So it was like a shitty product based on a shitty product, which didn't really bother me. But apparently now they're going to make a TV show called, what would you say?
Yeah,
Star Wars Rebels. And it's supposed to take place after the Battle of Yavin, which makes me really angry because now you're probably going to make a shitty TV product about something that's awesome, and that makes me mad, and that makes me sad, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm just tired of it.
Here's the thing.
I'm just
sad. Lucasfilm is under new management, I'm going to give Episode 7 the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to go see it. If Episode 7 is bad, I'm probably going to lose complete interest in Star Wars as a franchise, other than the original movies.
Well, what makes me mad, I guess, like the Plinkett review about Star Trek, where he's like, why not just make a new sci-fi trilogy? Why do they have to ruin Star Trek? And I have that feeling right now. I was like, why? You ruin, like, just stop. Leave it alone. These 3 movies were amazing. Like, look, you guys know, I in some ways I hate Return of the Jedi because I think it's way overrated and people think it's this amazing movie, and it's like, it's not. It's a good movie, but it has some serious problems in it, and these people think that Return of the Jedi is the best Star Wars movie, and it's like, oh, you are so far wrong. But it's still a great movie, and it's still miles better than, like, Revenge of the Sith, for that matter. But my point is that I love these movies. I love those movies a lot, and I love those movies a lot, and it bothers me that now I have to I have to relive what I had to relive with the prequels, most likely, and people are gonna love these movies, and I'm gonna think they're shitty, and that's just gonna ruin me inside, and I'm just not looking forward to
Okay,
this.
well, first off, Return of the Jedi is the best Star Wars movie.
We've gone over this. There's no way it is. It has the tone problems. We will do a commentary that one day, and the last 30 minutes will just me be complaining about the tone of that movie.
The Emperor is the best part about all the Star Wars movies, okay? And he's in Return of the Jedi, which means that
I can agree with you there, but your problem is, it'd have been great if it was all the throne room and like some space battle, maybe if you can put it tastefully. But then you go into Endor and there's fucking Ewoks and Tarzan sounds, and you're just like, this is campy now. It's not. We've done this, and I'm just repeating. I'm like but this is campy now. This isn't like. You were just being really dark, and like the Emperor was telling Luke that his friends are gonna die, and Luke's like getting really angry and like being tempted by the dark side, and now you're going to Ewoks. I don't get this. Your tone is like, it's like I have problems with that movie, but it's still a good movie. Don't get me wrong. Like that the fight scene. I think that's personally I think it's my favorite lightsaber duel because I think it's the most the closest you can get to like the Phantom Menace, where they're like kung fu, like, you know, swinging their swords really fast, and it's like, oh god, what is this? But it's the closest to that, and the New Hope you'll get, where like A New Hope was real slow. I feel like the Return of the Jedi had the closest to the middle ground, where like there's definitely some choreography there, some whatever word that was, but there's definitely some of that there, choreography. But there's also a really good, there's also a really good emotion there that you don't get in any of the prequel lightsaber battles. Even with Obi-Wan and Darth Maul after he kills Qui-Gon Jinn, it's still your normal. We're not really swinging at each other. We're swinging at each other's lightsabers. But I digress.
Well, speaking of science fiction and tone and Alien Isolation art direction. Did you watch that video I sent you? Yeah,
that was really cool. That was awesome. I don't want to play that game because that game looks so scary, but I want to at the same time because of that. How awesome! Like, that is, to me, I almost want to buy the game just to reward those developers for trying hard. Like, you can, like, we get these developers who make games like DICE, and I liked DICE. I was excited about Battlefield 4, and then they just come up with this half-ass, like, look, it's just Battlefield 3, but a little better looking because they made a new graphics, engine with it. But then you get stuff like this where you can tell these developers put time and effort and thought into this game, and it looks awesome, and it looks really scary, and it looks like the Dead Space 3 that I wanted. And I don't know if you caught this, but he says weapon in the video, where he says you can't hold the motion sensor and a weapon at the same time, which makes me have hope there's weapons in that game. Because I really don't want to play a game that I'm being chased by a giant alien and I have no weapons, because that's a big no-no in my book.
My only thing is that if there is a weapon in the game, I don't want it to be something that can, something like in the vein of Aliens. Like, I don't want a plasma rifle in this game. I don't want anything like that.
Well, and like, you can also, like they said, like, the only things you'll have are things that could be built on that space station. So I doubt you're going to get a plasma rifle, but hopefully you can get something that can, like, make the alien stop chasing you for 10 seconds, and like, oh god, I got 10 seconds to run now.
In the original movie, they managed to kind of jury-rig a cattle prod, kind of. So, hopefully I can get cattle prod an alien. That'd be pretty freaking cool. But I like the art direction that they're going for, how it's like this, they actually got the production designer from the original movie to, consult, and how it's all this, it's like a 70s vision of the future, and that to me is like, I am so happy for that, because I like that stuff. And the game looks awesome, and I can't wait to play it. October needs to hurry up.
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be scary. It's going to be awful, and I'm going to hate playing it if I do play it. But I will try. I will try to. That's about as good as I can give you. I'll try. Dead Space 1 scared the shit out of me, so. Like, you remember watching me Let's Play it. I was like, I knew it was coming, and I was still scared. I was like, I know this is going to happen. Oh, I don't want it to happen.
So, but yeah, it's really fun. Really, really fun, Dead Space 1. And you jump. So, I don't think that's ever going to get released, by the way. The Let's Play that was recorded in Dead Space 1, because first off, it's not finished. I don't think that's... I think that's going to be one of those hidden in the PhantasmMask vault that nobody's ever going to...
You mean like the binder... It's like a DVD binder. That's the vault. Exactly.
It's just a disc that's sitting on my TV stand. What is this?
That's my 3 gigabyte vault, Mom.
So probably the biggest story that I know you're going to get emotional about is Marty O'Donnell getting fired.
God damn. That... I don't... Look... I loved Halo 1, 2, and 3. Halo 4 was alright. I honestly, one of the reasons I think I didn't like Halo 4 is because like the music in this game kind of blows, and I don't like saying those kinds of things because I feel like I'm being real judgmental to the guy who did the music in Halo 4 because he probably tried really hard, and that's great and all. But I just didn't like. To me, it didn't resonate with me like it did with Marty. God, I love Marty O'Donnell. He's one of my favorite composers, and wasn't it me and you that had the... It reminded me and Kyle who were arguing who was the most influential most influential game sound developer, and I was like, dude, it's Marty O'Donnell, because Marty O'Donnell's awesome, even though he's done like one really good franchise, but in my opinion he did that franchise amazing, and I don't know why I don't, and especially like he was working with Elton John. Like, him and Elton John were going to do the soundtrack to Destiny, and I guess, I know he was real conservative, so maybe, like, he, like, rubbed someone the wrong way, and they were just like, fuck you, Marty, and he was like, no, fuck you, I quit, and like, no, fuck you, we fire you, and like, I don't know, it's just upsetting.
I like Marty.
Like, it's not like he's going to stop making music, but I feel like I'm not looking forward to Destiny as much as I was before.
Well, I'm sure some of his work will still make it into the final game. I mean, it's not like,
Let's hope so.
They're just going to drop every single piece of work that he did for the game and say, fuck it, get somebody new in here. So, but I don't see, I like him as a composer, but Halo, God, that franchise is... I will make a lot of enemies by talking about the Halo franchise. Jeez.
Me
what are you
included,
talking
bastard.
about? ODST's the best game.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's the best game, but it's a really good one. I liked it just as much as
I'm sorry,
2 and 3.
but 2 and 3 are bad games. 4 is a bad game. It's not fun. Reach is not fun. I had the most fun with ODST because it's like, I am not super OP. I can die easily.
Okay, just play Reach on Legendary. It's about impossible. That was hard as fuck.
You have other people helping you.
Okay, well, maybe that. But I just remember it being really hard because it's like, hey, these elites never die. It's like, I'm shooting him in the head.
That's right.
With a whole clip.
They brought elites
He's
back
still
and they were
not
OP as
dead.
Shit. Yes.
That's the thing I think I missed most about Halo 3 was the elites. The elites were so much fun to fight in 1 and 2, and then they like brought the brutes, which were fun but not nearly as cool as fighting an elite.
Easier to hit. So
yeah, and then they would get mad and run at you, and you're like, okay, jump, shoot. I still though, like the I can pull up the tracks. Honestly, I have them on my computer. Like, let's see here. Talk for me, Danny.
Well,
Sing
Destiny
for me,
is
darling.
going to be a fantastic game, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Regardless of whether or not Marty O'Donnell has done the majority of the compositions in the game. Because Destiny's shaping up to be some Game of the Year material, I think. But, jeez, I've heard rumors that it was based in money, about how he got a major pay raise with Destiny, and he wanted more money after it was done. And so they canned him. Supposedly he was fired without cause, so whatever that may be. Just like, fuck you.
One final effort and finish the fight were like 2 of the greatest songs ever. And then you go on the reach the ODST soundtrack, and the first overture with the saxophone is amazing. I love Marty. I'm really upset. I mean, like I said, he's not like he's gonna stop making music for games. Maybe he'll like team up with Valve, and he could do the soundtrack for Half-Life 3.
Maybe he'll team up with BioWare and do Mass Effect.
I don't know if he would do a good like.
It's gotta be better than what's his face that did Mass Effect 3. Is it Clint Mansell? Boo beep boo boo. That stupid piano. It's like, oh. Yeah, that. God. Can we just have Mass Effect 1 soundtrack, please? The good.
You're in the minority of those games as well. Mass Effect 1 is a better game than Mass Effect 2.
It is a better game.
It is not a better game.
It's an actual RPG, unlike 2 and 3, which are action games with the illusion of choice.
So, I'm not going to clean your magazines, okay? Because I don't want to take those apart and have to figure out how to put them together.
Okay,
so
completely unrelated.
But yeah. Look, this podcast is just going to be like if me and Danny were hanging out in our room, jacking it. Stroke it harder, Danny.
So, Watch Dogs. We talked a little bit about this earlier, off mic, when I was over at your place earlier. So, are you excited for Watch Dogs at all? Are you?
I guess. Ever since the E3 the video came out, it looked amazing, and I was like, I can't wait to play that. And just like slowly but steadily, not BioWare, Ubisoft has just like continuously dropped the ball on certain things, and so slowly my excitement has waned. But I'm still excited. But like it's more of like I'm gonna wait for this to come out. Because I've been burned by certain things, Battlefield 4.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to get the game at launch, and if we have some free time, like if we're both off work or something like that, I'll bring it over and you can check it out.
Well, Dr. Steve Brulett.
Let's check it out.
Gamer to gamer?
Gamer. God, I'm already missing Season 3 of that show being over with. I really am. That show is fantastic. But...
Look, this podcast is not to plug other people's stuff, okay? We're talking about our shit here, okay?
Let's check it out.
Go over let's check it out. Go over to the
so we didn't really cover all of it earlier, did we? Where I was talking about the demo they put out with the guy in the taco truck.
No, you didn't do that at all.
Sarcasm.
You told me, but you didn't tell the audience.
The demo that they had put out is that in the game, you can have other people infiltrate your game and hack you and steal your money or something like that. And it's within a certain radius they have to stay in order to successfully hack you. And you can find them and you can chase them throughout the city and try to stop them. And if you successfully stop them, then you get skill points. And if you successfully rob them, then you get skill points. And of course you can turn that feature off. But I think it's going to be really cool to be able to infiltrate people's games and be like, hey, I'm taking your money because hacks. And that's pretty much it for multiplayer in a nutshell.
I'm assuming they'll have like this. Are they going to do like the standard Grand Theft Auto where there's just like an open world where you can jump in?
I think so. Maybe.
Because that makes like the most sense in the realm of what the game is. Like it's just an open world playground for players to jump in, but then you can also, screw with people in their
like they could be I think the terms of when you're able to hack people is that you can't hack people if they're undergoing a mission, but if they're just doing free roam, then then it's open season. So, but Watch Dogs looks like a good game, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. But moving on, this was actually found out today, and I didn't send this to you before we started, but have you heard the myth of the E.T. Atari games being buried out in the New Mexico desert?
I saw that on Reddit, and I had no idea what was going on, but it was like they found it, and I was like, okay.
They found the legendary cache of the E.T. Atari games.
Have they been missing this whole time or something?
Atari way back in the day buried them out in the middle of the desert because they're like, we don't want these. Yeah.
Really? Or is this
pretty
the
much.
myth?
And it's like, and nobody knows where they went.
Is this fact?
And so they found them. No, it is real. They actually, in the 70s, they actually buried, well, not the 70s, the 80s, they buried them out in the desert because that game sold horribly. It was a terrible game. Nobody loved it. It was rushed out the gate. So they had all these copies just sitting around, so they buried them out in the middle of the desert. And people have been looking for them since. Because
why?
It's legendary. It's a thing. It's a scavenger hunt. It's fun.
Sure. These kids these days, get a hobby. Shoot a gun.
Shoot a
Get fucked. Fuck a woman. Hey, if you want to fuck a man, I don't care.
Well, you don't
Political
worship Janus,
commentary
you have
with
to
Derek.
worship Saturn. It's funny to watch Derek clean his guns and all the faces he makes. He's like, I'm trying not to drop this shit.
That was almost really bad.
So,
Cleaning solvent would have gone everywhere. So like, these people have been looking for him this whole time, and they finally found him.
yeah, I wouldn't say that they've been looking for him the whole time. It's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, hey, these are out there somewhere. We should find them.
Like, there's a club, and every Saturday they go out in the Nevada desert for... Like I said, go
There's
fucking
a
get a
secret
hobby. Why are you
society.
gonna go look for a game on... Yeah. They're part of the
The
Illuminati. The Sons of Anarchy?
Sons of Liberty?
I don't know, whatever.
It
just makes farts.
Makes farts. I don't know. We kind of blazed through every single topic that I had. I don't know if there's anything else to really talk about.
We can go on a huge tangent and talk about what we did today.
I mean, we could if you want.
Today, me and Danny had our first gay experience.
That's not what happened at all. I am not a homosexual.
I'm like Clive Bundy. I hate the gays.
Jeez, that's ridiculous.
Let's go into that, actually. Why not?
Clive Bundy out there in Nevada?
Sure. Alright, guys. I would consider myself a libertarian. I am very anti-government. You know what? I'm not someone who's like, I don't want to get... If you disagree with me, that's fine. Like, your opinion is your opinion. I'm not going to say you're wrong, right? Those are things I believe in. So I was kind of okay with the whole, like... The whole story to me, it seemed like Clive was in the right, because the government... The land... The government was never using the land anyways, and so he was like, whatever, I'll let my cows eat there. And all of a sudden, the government found out about it, like, 20 years later, and we're like, oh, we're pissed. We're gonna come take your cows, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, no, you guys, like... The land he was using, they weren't even using, like, no one was using it anyway, so it was just pretty much this, like, barren federal land, and he was having his cows eat on it, and I honestly, I mean, I guess, I don't really see it as a problem. It was like, no, it wasn't being used anyways, but so, these people, like, great, they stand up against the government, and I'm all for that, blah, blah, blah. Well, then he comes out, and he starts saying really racist things. Danny, give them a few of the things
I think he said something, and I'm just going on ahead and disclosing right now that this is not what I think, and these are not my words, because I didn't...
This is not endorsed by the
This is not
PWNcast
endorsed
podcast.
by any members of PWNcast or PhantasmMask Gaming LPs and other stuff, okay? This is not endorsed. But he was making comments about how he thinks that black people were freer when they were slaves than they are now.
Yep, that's totally
Because they're
right.
like, well, they're slaves to the government. Everybody's slaves to the government. And I'm just like, well, I mean, yeah, you could probably argue everybody's slaves to the government, but why did you single out black people?
And then he went on to say, like, they're having these unborn, they're killing all these babies before they're born, and something like, they're having all this sex, and they're doing all these drugs, and they're slaves to drugs and sex and violence, and they were better off. They don't know how to. I think he said something like they don't know how to pick cotton anymore, which that was the thing you never should have said. Like everything else, I'm like, all right, maybe. But then when he was like, they forgot how to pick cotton. That's when you kind of stepped your boundaries and went like full retard.
Retard.
Like, you just don't say that nowadays. Like, whether you believe it or not, and neither me or Danny believe this, but if you want to believe that way, I'm not going to, like, punch you in the face or anything, but keep that to yourself. If you want to hate black people, that's your own business. I don't hate black people. I love everyone equally. Haha, I love everyone equally. No, but, like, if you want to be racist, just be an asshole and be racist, and don't mess, like, just leave people alone. Don't get on CNN and, like, get your 15 minutes of fame to, like, try to speak social commentary and talk about how you think black people were freer when they were slaves. Because let's face it, I watched 12 Years a Slave. That is false.
Yeah, I mean, and then later on he says, what was it he said? He said, I'm not racist at heart. Exactly!
What does that even mean?
What does that even mean? It's like, oh, I think that black people were better when they were slaves, but I'm not racist at heart. Yes, you fucking are, you piece of shit.
Well, I think what that speaks to volumes, that he's so ignorant that he legitimately thinks what he said was okay, because he legitimately thinks they were better off as slaves, which just blows my mind.
Yeah.
How someone can still feel that way in 2014. And that's why when people like, oh, racism doesn't exist anymore, I'm like, well, hold on. Because there's still people out there like Clive Bundy
who will just, no, it's black people. And I'm...
Who, by the way, I called him Ted Bundy.
When we were out to lunch earlier, you called him Ted Bundy. I'm like, the serial killer? You mean to tell me that Ted Bundy assembled a militia in the Nevada desert and they're fighting against the federal government? We may have a problem here. What was the thing you were talking about with the drone strikes, though?
Okay, here's where this is when I'm gonna get a little angry, but some liberal person, and look, if you want to be liberal and you want to think the government's good, that's fine. I'm not gonna, like, say you're wrong, that's not who I am, but I will say this is bullshit, and this kind of makes me mad when people do this, but he said something about, now is a great time to see how well those drone strikes work, or something like that, about blow it. Just pretty much, like, the gist of his joke was, I disagree with these people, so they should get blown up. Like, it's just, like, no one got hurt. I don't think, a lot of people think that, like, a lot of people are anti-gun because they think things like this will happen and then people will die, and it's, like, cooler heads prevailed. I don't think anyone really wanted to shoot anyone. I will say the army people, I think both parties were pretty retarded in a sense, because, like, I guess they were both totally okay with just, if they had to shoot each other, which to me just blows my mind. I don't know. I would never. I'm assuming is it in New Mexico,
Nevada,
or is it in Arizona? And is it open to carry in Nevada?
Actually.
But were they illegal to have their weapons out on his property then?
To his ranch.
Okay, so it was technically okay for them to have the weapons.
That is
because
correct.
They were okay.
Yes. So he was well within his right to assemble a militia on his own land to protect it.
Against the thieving government.
He was okay until he opened his mouth.
And looked like a giant
exactly.
jackhole.
And this is the reason why people don't respect, people who may be against what the government has to say, is because, because
me.
Every single time you wind up with people, it's like, oh, this person's a fucking racist.
You know what's? I think that actually, I'm gonna interrupt you. The most sad part is there's going to be a lot of people that will jump behind him because of what he said, and that to me, like, people, like, I won't name names, but I'm sorry about that. People like people that I know will probably be super excited that he said what he said, and it's just, that is, to me, is the saddest part, is that there are actually people that agree with him and that will rally behind him, and, like, I know a lot of the politicians that were supporting him are, like, super upset right now with him, but there's going to be a lot more of the normal casual people like me and you, not me and you per se, but people like us, who are just regular Joes, average Joes, Joe Schmoes, and they're gonna see him as a hero who's speaking the actual truth of political commentary, and that actual black people were better off as slaves. And there are gonna be people that believe that, and they're gonna rally behind him because he said that. And it's just that's the thing that I think bothers me the most.
Derek, are you trying to say that we're filthy casuals? We're such casuals that we can't handle. But yeah, it's so dumb now. I don't... Made a dumb decision, pretty much, to open his mouth like that.
Well, I don't think he thinks it's a dumb decision at all. Like I said, like, I think he's, like, totally... I think he thinks he's right.
And that's terrifying.
And there's going to be people that are... Like, that's why the worst part is there are going to be people that, like, agree with him. And it's going to, like, gain him popularity in, like, those really hardcore Republican conservative people who agree with him. And I have a feeling some of these politicians who are like, oh, I disagree, are probably like, hell yeah, I'm glad he said it because them black people are horrible. And just... That was also me imitating someone. I don't think black people are horrible. But I think that's the worst part of this whole situation.
And doesn't this kind of tie in with the whole Stephen Colbert thing that happened a few weeks ago? With that one Asian girl?
Oh, God. I don't know if I want to talk about this, because this is just going to make me angry. Look, we're going to talk about feminism and misogyny and patriarchy, and this is Derek's theory about all this shit. People are people, whether you're a woman or you're a man, you are a fucking person. Just because I am a white cis male and I like females and I like to shoot guns and I'm very I don't know. I don't know. I'm not like I don't like culture because I don't know if you saw what I posted the other day on my Tumblr, but it was some person wrote a long thing about the Avril Lavigne video that came out. Have you seen it?
No, I didn't see it, but I saw the video and I wanted to vomit afterwards. Somebody sent it to me. It's like, is this not the worst thing you've ever seen? And it was.
Apparently, I haven't seen it, so I guess I should. Maybe it's right. Maybe it is super offensive. I don't know. I just know someone posted about how Avril Lavigne is like this horrible person, and it's super racist, and it's like cultural. It's like not culturally appreciating the Japanese culture, and because then like Avril Lavigne on her Twitter, she posted how like she's like my what am I? I worked with Asian people this whole time. Like I'm not racist. I'm like she tried to defend herself, and maybe she is. I don't know. I just have a problem when people hate people for trying to imitate another culture, or I'm not very like I don't see things like culturally. I'm just like we're all just people. Like we're not a group of people. We're like I am not a part of any other group. I am the only person I will ever be, and I just so happen to be a white male. And maybe that makes me wrong. I don't know. Maybe that makes my point invalid. But the whole point I'm trying to come across is that we're. Hold on, let me gather my thoughts. Just because I may like make a joke one time and do a Scottish accent, or make a joke and make it like an Asian accent, doesn't mean I'm like offending every single Asian person on the planet. Just as though if they make a joke about Jersey Shore or a redneck with guns, they're not making fun of me per se. So I think people need to stop being so easily offended and just learn to like find humor in even things that should maybe like be a little bit over the line, and maybe like a feminist would like someone who would get upset because I made this joke because it's not culturally appreciative, and I'm making fun of Asians because I go Hong Ching Chong. Like that's, to me, I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm just making fun of a stereotype that is technically accurate, and if you want to argue, they could easily do the same thing to me, and I would understand it because I'm sure there's a shit ton of stereotypes you could do on me, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm that way too. Like
the reckless American cowboy who loves his guns.
Yeah, like I think people need to not be so offended. Like I don't have any more power over anyone else in this world. I work hard. I try to work hard. Sometimes I'm lazy. I won't lie. I try to be the best person I can be. I try to be nice to people and be considerate of their feelings. But if you're gonna get upset because I made a joke, and especially like especially in all cases, the Colbert, where it was satire, like he was making fun of someone for being a racist because his whole show is like a character, so his character was acting like a racist to show how another character was being a racist. And apparently, Suey Park, I wish I could interview her just to like understand like why she doesn't think that was satire, because apparently she's later on been like, well, it wasn't satire. And I'm like, well, how do you figure? Because he's making fun of someone for being a racist. Like, by being racist, that's the whole point. Like, he's not really coming, like, he's showing how because what happened is, if you don't know, Dan Snyder is the owner of the Washington Redskins, and the word Redskin, and I'm going to drop a very offensive word, but I'm using it as an example. The word Redskin is akin to the word nigger. They're you don't say those words casually. Like, the only reason I just said that was to show that Redskin, technically to American Indians, or Native Americans is technically what I should say. They really shouldn't have been called Americans, because technically American is a European word, and if you want to make that argument, it should just be called
natives.
I don't know. Yeah. The people that were here before, we killed them all, unfortunately.
Yeah, because people are assholes.
But, well, we just brought smallpox over, and they
all
died,
there were
unfortunately.
other things like the Trail of Tears and purposefully giving them smallpox,
Because people are assholes, but that's not funny, I'm sorry. The gist of what I'm trying to get is, Dan Snyder is the owner of the Washington Redskins, and the word Redskin is akin to the N-word. It's you don't, like, if there was a bigger native population, I have a feeling they would, like, they already don't like it, and what he did is he, like, raised, like, a couple $1 million for, like, the Association for Native American, what is it? Can you Google it real quick? Like, Dan Snyder, it's the Association for Native American Knowledge, or something like that. It's, like, to help with Native Americans, but the whole point is that it's like the way it's like, it's racist, because it's like, it'd be like that one guy, the Clive Bundy guy, going out and being like, yeah, I love black people were better as slaves, so I'm gonna make a program to help teach black people to not be so slavey, and, like, I don't know, it's just stupid stuff like that. So what Colbert did was he picked up on that, and he has a segment on his show called Sports or something like that, and he was talking about it, and he talked about his program. And can you name it, because I don't remember it, and you're right in front of the computer.
With the Chinese, I believe.
No, it was something Asian awareness program.
Yeah, because
or whatever. Google it, because the name is important.
For the Snyder Foundation that he came up with was the Washington Redskins Original Americans Foundation.
Okay, so imagine if it was like the Washington Niggers, a black, like, you understand, like, that's how racist it is. And the only reason I'm saying this word is like to convey how racist it is. Like, I could assure you I don't walk around dropping the N-word all the time. But Colbert had something along the similar lines, like Stephen Colbert's Asian American Association, and then it varied, or whatever, or something like that. And Suey Park picked up on it the next day when it was tweeted, or I think it was a day later or 2 days later. Yeah. The Comedy Central Twitter account tweeted that joke, and no, it was Friday they tweeted it, because it happened over the weekend, and he doesn't have a show Friday. So she picked up on it, and there was a whole cancel Colbert movement, and people tried to explain to her, like, the context of it, and I guess she didn't really care, because she's a harpy and a horrible woman. That's my thoughts on that.
It's more or less, not so much that she's a harpy or an evil woman, as you put it, but it's more a sense of, unfortunately, something that we see in our current generation, and it's this sense of entitlement, and how
I hate that word, but
yeah,
it's
like
true.
They seem to think that they deserve all of these things just because of something that's predetermined, when in fact things are earned. You're not entitled to anything other than a few basic human rights, and those guaranteed by the laws that are made in this country. But, like, you're not entitled to have a college education, okay? Nobody is going to give that to you. Nobody should give that to you.
Unless
you live in the state of Tennessee, in which case, fuck off, you lucky sons of bitches. But now I'm starting to sound a little hypocritical. But it's like there are a lot of things in the world that you have to work for and that you're not entitled to. And I really hate that about our generation, about how there are so many people who think, I'm entitled to have a job. I'm entitled to have a job that pays $10 an hour.
Well, you better pay well.
It's exactly.
Or I'm quitting.
Like,
but no, they're forced to work at Walmart. That's right. God, we're going off on a huge tangent. People are gonna get mad. You guys are racist assholes,
anarchist terrorists. 0 out of 10 blacklisted. I don't know, I think it was fun. I sometimes like tackling current events. So.
Well, I mean, my problem with the whole thing is that, like, it doesn't... Like, he wasn't being, like, he wasn't making fun of Asians. He was using an example of a character who was being racist to show how racist Dan Snyder was being. Like, I don't... It bothers me when people just, like I said, like, we're all people on this planet. I'm no better than anyone. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I'm no better than anyone else on this planet. I can assure you of that. I don't think I'm any better than anyone else on this planet. So when you want to talk about how I'm, like, entitled and I'm privileged, I just don't understand it, because I'm just like, are you sure? Because I'm me. It's the only person I'll ever be. I'm just, a 5'8" white kid from Florida who sometimes,
we don't know where you live.
Well, I mean, anyone with half a computer brain could figure that out.
They back traced it. Because that's how computers work, right? They hacked it and back traced it.
God.
So, I don't know. You have anything else? I think we covered a lot of ground in such a... Because usually, sometimes these things take like an hour and a half. And we covered a lot of ground.
Well, there's not much news right now. There's lots of game stuff, but it's not like newsworthy, I feel like.
Kind of in that dead spot where it's kind of like, we're waiting on some games to come out. You got Watch Dogs in May, you got Destiny in September, but it's like nothing else in between.
Can't wait to shit on Dead Space 4.
If it ever happens. So, and then you got E3 over the summer, but that'll be fun. So, I think there's one thing that I want to plug that we've been doing on Reddit, the James Bond stuff. Yeah, and I mean
sure.
we've been.
Man.
I think we announced it a while back that we were going to be doing commentary tracks, and we started doing them. We started going into the James Bond movies, and they've been very popular on the James Bond subreddit. So we've been doing them, and they're available on the subreddit if you want to go over to our James Bond and subscribe there. I put them up every Sunday except for last weekend. I put up on Saturday because of the Easter holiday. So, hey man, is anybody going to watch James Bond on Easter? There's only one Bond movie that would apply. Octopussy. That look on your face is like, what? Because it deals with the fake Fabergé eggs.
You know what's funny is I thought about saying that movie strictly for like how corny it was.
Yeah, Octopussy. It's the only one that's even remotely relevant to Easter because of fake Fabergé eggs. So we've been doing those, and hopefully we'll be doing, how many? There's 23 in the main series, and there's 2 others that we're going to be spinning off with. It's I hate to sound intimidating, Derek, but it's a 25-week project. And you died on the inside.
No, I don't mind watching them. We just got done watching Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, it's actually going up tomorrow after we record this. So,
I think Friday we'll do Casino Royale. We could honestly, It's a shame I don't have the movies here, because I could watch them at my house and you could watch at your house and we could time it up together and just do what we're doing now.
It'd be a lot harder,
Skype.
but yeah, it probably could work, maybe. But then you don't get Daniel Craig in glorious 1080p Blu-ray. Derek does not care. I mean, you can't see Sean Connery's toupee in DVD quality.
Just makes
so yeah.
two
Other
parts.
than that, things on the channel. I finished up Mystical Ninja recently. I'll be uploading the rest of that over the weekend and early in the week. After that, I'm gonna start putting up Ground Zeroes, and then I'm not sure. I may put up the Star Fox stream or Strike Suit Zero afterwards. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, Derek does not care because Derek doesn't play games, and when he does play games, it's shitty sports games.
StarCraft is not
really.
a sports
Then why
game.
is it classified as a sport?
Esport hero.
Okay, sports. It's in the game.
I play plenty of games.
You play NBA 2K14 or whatever. Oh, it's 13?
13. It's a fun game. It's a nice time waster.
It's because you're such a filthy fucking casual.
Yeah. The last game I played was Alan Wake. I liked Alan Wake a lot.
Yeah.
I tried to get into Papa Yoy and it was just like a puzzle, and I just was like, I don't want to do this.
So yeah, I mean, I've been having sinus problems, so it's like, yay! Danny coughs throughout the entire podcast and has sniffles.
You know what game I want? I want a Grand Theft Auto 6 that's like super duper, like small, and it's just about how you have to like become a manager at your place of work. That's the main story. Is becoming like a manager so you can like buy your first car. I want that game.
Life? I think that game already exists and it's been out for for about 4.2 billion years.
Really? Because I'm not sure that game was out 4.2 billion. Maybe that one was like Run from Saber-Tooth Tiger.
Find out
Create
what Cellular
fire.
Division is. Or unless you worship Jengus, then find out what...
Burn the infidels.
Wow, excuse me. So yeah, because if you don't worship Jengus, you have to worship Saturn. So I think that's about going to wrap it up. I don't have anything to plug.
Sure.
Derek doesn't do anything online gaming, so.
I'm on. My BattleNet is Little Goose 91. My Steam is also Little Goose 91.
Yeah, you can add Derek on Steam and send him free games. Gets like the shittiest games ever.
No, Crisis 2 was the last game I played. I like that game.
Yeah, don't play
fun.
the third one. You're not gonna like it. What is it with threes? What is it with Ricks?
What is it with Ricks?
So yeah.
Yeah, it is a pretty good, hopefully Dragon Age
Intuition.
Dragon Age whatever will fix that, because seriously, Mass Effect 3 was shitty. Dead Space 3 was shitty.
Assassin's Creed 3.
Well, can we
It's the
count
third
that as the
game.
third game? I guess.
And it's got a 3 on it, so therefore it's the third game. I mean...
Because technically, if you want to go technical here, the third game was Brotherhood, which was a pretty good game.
Well, we all know that the best game is Assassin's Creed 1, so...
Derek dies inside. Go climb this tower again. Go investigate those dudes again.
Go visit
beat
the
that guy
bureau.
up again. Again.
Oh, man. Well, I've enjoyed our conversation tonight, so, yeah. So, good night, everybody. Rub your dangus and enjoy.
Please don't.
What was that?
PWNcast.